and welcome to our YouTube channel Golf Rules @realswingers.com. In part 1 of the video, we had explained to you the correct procedure for estimating the nearest point of relief. In this part of the video, we will tell you the various situations a golfer may face while selecting the nearest point of relief.
Use of different club for making a stroke. A player who has identified his nearest point of relief correctly using a club may choose to play a different club after taking a drop since it is a new situation. If in the new situation, by using a different club, the player finds interference from something else, the player may take another relief. Let us understand this with the help of a diagram. A player's ball is in thick grass, which is somewhere here. The green is about 230 yards. A normal player will play a 3-wood from this distance. However, because of the thick grass, the player is not able to play a 3-wood and he decides to come out of this rough area with a wedge. While using the wedge, he finds that his stance is there on the casual water. Therefore, he is entitled for a relief. The player estimates the nearest point of relief, which is likely to be here. From here, he drops the ball within one club length, which is something like this, into a D area, which may be somewhere here. From here, the player visualizes that he is now able to play a 3-wood instead of a wedge. Therefore, he takes his stance here, takes out a 3-wood from his bag and plays the next shot. Player determines the nearest point of relief but is physically unable to make intended stroke. The purpose of determining the nearest point of complete relief is to find out a reference point from where the interference from the condition is not there. In determining the nearest point of complete relief, the player is not guaranteed a good lie. If it is not physically possible to drop the ball in any part of the identified relief area, the player is not allowed relief. Let us understand this with the help of a diagram. The player's ball is here on a cart path and the direction of play is as indicated by this arrow. The player selects the nearest point of relief, which is somewhere here. From here, the player does not have any shot because the backswing of the player is restricted by a big tree behind. Therefore, the player thinks that he can take the drop here or here or here. No, the player is not authorized the drop anywhere else except at this spot, which is the nearest point of relief. We must understand that there is only one nearest point of relief. In these circumstances, the player is not authorized a relief. Player physically unable to determine nearest point of complete relief. The player must estimate the nearest point of complete relief and drop a ball in the identified relief area. If it is not physically possible to drop the ball in the identified relief area, the player is not allowed relief under abnormal course condition. Let us understand this with the help of a live situation. This is a cart path and the player's ball is on the cart path. His nearest point of relief will be on this side, say at this spot. But there is a boundary fence which is just next to the cart path, and the player is barely able to stand in between the cart path and the boundary fence. Here, the player is physically unable to determine the nearest point of complete relief because that point is within the boundary fence and it prevents the player from adopting the required stance. Therefore, the player must estimate the nearest point of complete relief and drop a ball in the identified relief area, which is in this area. If it is not physically possible to drop the ball in the identified relief area, the player is not allowed relief under the rule. Under these circumstances, the player either plays the ball as it is or under an unplayable ball rule.
That's all for now. We will appreciate if you like the video and subscribe if you want regular updates on the rules.